What's happening in Pakistan, because thousands of PTI workers have hit the streets demanding the release of Imran Khan, their leader and also the former Prime Minister. In fact, these protesters have also clashed with the security personnel there. According to reports, multiple security personnel have been injured in the attack. These protesters laid siege to Islamabad. They broke all barricades. In fact, they broke in from the northern province as well. And now what we are getting to understand is that these protesters are crossing a river as well to get to the other side, to Islamabad, to raise their demand for the release of Imran Khan. You can see how the protesters are on the streets, a sea of protesters. Thousands of them have mobilized on the streets. They are out in protest against the arrest. And Shehbaz Sharif's government has failed to curb and contain these protesters. It seems like his move to stifle these protests have completely failed, and you can see a complete state of chaos in Pakistan as thousands of protesters hit the streets. In fact, Matthew Miller, the US State Department spokesperson, has also appealed to the protesters to not to resort to any violent methods. Let's listen in.
In Pakistan and around the world, we support freedom of expression, peaceful assembly, and association. We call on protesters to demonstrate peacefully and refrain from violence. And at the same time, we call on Pakistani authorities to respect human rights and fundamental freedoms and to ensure respect for Pakistan's laws and constitution as they work to maintain law and order. So in Pakistan and around the world, we support freedom of expression, peaceful assembly, and association. We call on protesters to demonstrate peacefully and refrain from violence. And at the same time, we call on Pakistani authorities to respect human rights and fundamental freedoms and to ensure respect for Pakistan's laws and constitution as they work to maintain law and order.
That was Matthew Miller urging the protesters to protest in democratic means and not to disrespect the constitution, and urging them to not to resort to any violent methods. Now, on the other hand, in Delhi, the Supreme Court has pulled up the Delhi police for not effectively containing the pollution control measures. In fact, they have pulled up the cops for not enforcing these curbs as well. Here's a quick report on that.
The Supreme Court of India pulled up Delhi police during a hearing on the deteriorating air quality in the national capital. Not mincing words, the apex court bench came down heavily on Delhi police for gaps in implementing and enforcing strict pollution control measures. Stage 4 of the Graded Response Action Plan, or GRAP, is currently in force across the national capital. As part of GRAP 4, there is a ban on the entry of heavy vehicles to the national capital and stricter curbs on the movement of privately owned vehicles.